All right, welcome everyone. We are really excited to launch this group today. This group is Dynamics 365 user group for India and global professionals of Microsoft Dynamics 365 technology platform. So what we are going to do is do a launch for this group where we will talk about the group objectives and how you can collaborate with the group. And we have some very exciting lineup of speakers today with us. So first we'll go through the agenda. So we will do a welcome and group introduction. And we have keynote speaker Sunil Garg joining us from United States. It's very early morning on a Saturday, so we really appreciate Sunil's joining for encouraging us. We have guest speaker Faisal Farid from Australia, and he is a senior technical architect on Dynamics 365 platform. So thank you, Sunil and Faisal, for joining us. We will then talk about what's coming next and what we are planning in this group. And then we will have an open floor where we will open up the stage for the attendees who can share their ideas and feedback so that we can shape up this group in a better way as we proceed. So we move on further. So first of all, we would like to introduce the volunteers who are driving this group at this moment. So myself, Rachit, joined with Paresh and Rahul, are we came together. We are very good friends working together, and personally, we know each other for a long time. And we wanted to create a group for Microsoft Dynamics 365 professionals of India to come together, collaborate, learn, share, and grow together. So just a quick introduction of myself. I'm Rachit. I've been working in Dynamics 365 field for almost 16 years. I'm currently working with PwC in Australia. Apart from work, I also have my own blog and I work as volunteer in few other community user groups. We have a user group for ANZ region, and I'm also a volunteer in Pakistan user group. I also participate in Power community user groups where I have given sessions in last year. So feel free to check them out. And I'm really excited to be a part of this group. I will now pass it on to Paresh for his introduction. Over to you, Paresh.
Thank you, Rachit. I'm excited as well. And first of all of you out there, I hope you and your loved ones are safe and doing well in this COVID times. Well, a very warm welcome to everyone who is joining this these five user group India launch event today, and a special thanks to Sunil and Fazal, who are our guest speakers tonight. And myself, my name is Paresh Sharma. Just like Rashid, I spent over 16 years now in Dynamics area. A major part of my career has been in Dynamics Business Central, which was previously known as Dynamics Nav. And for almost 4 years now, I have been dedicatedly working in Dynamics 365 customer engagement, which is the CRM part of it. Apart from that, I'm a proud father of a 9-year-old and a dedicated husband. At least my wife thinks so. And also YouTuber and a blogger. And you'll find a lot of content from my side on YouTube for D65 and Power Platform. Well, I won't take much time of yours, and I will pass it on to Rahul, who will take you further in this session. So over to you, Rahul.
Hey, thanks, Paresh. Thanks, Rachit. So, guys, my name is Rahul Sharma, and I have been working in the industry for more than 19 years now. I've seen so many technologies. Started my career with as a developer on with the Visual Basic, ASP, those days. Then shifted to .NET and then Xapta, and from there onwards, just working on Dynamics 365 FNO. And I do take care of other technologies as well, which surrounds our D365 world, whether it's Power Platform, Azure stuff, and all those things. This is my first time to be a part of any open community. So I'm excited to join this, journey with you guys. And I work with HSO. It's been 10 years, more than 10 years with HSO, and I look around technology, all technology stuff at HSO. And like others, I do share my knowledge through my blog, cursor.run. And I have a small YouTube channel where we have few videos and few subscribers. So like I said, not much on the community, but I'll make sure I'm more visible and more, occasionally like sharing this stuff with you guys. Okay, if Rachid, you can now go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Rachid and Paresh already explained you much about why we started the group. So this is a Dynamics 365 India users group. We want to connect all technical, functional, and end users with us, so that we can share our solutions, share our knowledge, and help other guys and take their knowledge and help with us. And with this, we will try to connect, like I said, not only D365 user base, but we will try to connect whatever touches with D365. Uh, the low code, no code, and the technology paradigm is not just limited to D365. So we'll try to spread the word, try to group all everyone together. And how we want to continue with this group, we will deliver regular sessions on technology and things going on in the market. And we encourage you guys as well and the community members as well to participate in the group, come up with the sessions. You can, Rachit, can you paste the link in the chat window so that people can
Sure.
join? So
Yeah.
thanks. So guys, you can join us. You can request for sessions if you want to share your knowledge, or if you have a particular topic that you want to share, you want us to deliver. We will be happy to work on that stuff as well. And all this stuff we will be uploading on our LinkedIn group. And soon we are coming up with our YouTube channel and a separate website for D365 India community. Yeah. And Rachit, can you go to the next slide, please? I think we have one more stuff. Yeah. Okay, and again, I think Rachit has already shared the link, the LinkedIn group link in the chat window. So guys, please take some time and join us, where we already have more than 160 plus members. That was few hours back. I hope a few more are in the line. Then, like you said, this is just the start that we are doing with the LinkedIn stuff. Then YouTube, recorded sessions. We will do a mix of things. It's not always going to be like a live sessions, one-to-one thing. We will do a webcast and those kind of things as well, where we will have content pre-recorded with you guys, with the help of you guys. And then we will, broadcast that stuff periodically as and when needed. Yeah, thank you. Rachit, I think it's back to you then.
All right. Thanks, Rahul. What a good way to start with 160 plus members already in the group during the launch. And I'm sure this group will go a long way and will catch a lot of attention. We have some really nice ideas which are brewing in our mind, and we will share with this group. And we hope they will add a lot of value to the community. So moving on with this, with the main agenda of today, we have Sunil Garg, and I would like to do a huge welcome to Sunil for joining us from United States. Sunil is a principal group program manager on Dataverse platform in Microsoft. He is a well-known figure in Microsoft Dynamics 365 community because the way he loves community and encourages everyone is just outstanding. So I would like to now hand it over to Sunil to share his thoughts with us and talk us about what's happening in Microsoft world on the Dataverse platform. Over to you, Sunil.
Hey, thank you, Rachit, and thank you, everyone. Give me a moment while I share my screen here. I hope everyone can see the screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, good evening again, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Rachit. So I'm a group program manager in Microsoft Dataverse platform team. And what that means is I have a team that is accountable for the platform runtime, that is accountable for bringing FNO closer and closer to Power Platform, and few other areas in the platform. So before we jump into the details, I'm genuinely excited to be part of our India community group and also other community opportunities that we keep coming together on in the past as well. And it is good to be connecting back to the roots. So a quick introduction and background about myself. I'll be completing about 15 years in Microsoft. And originally my base is from Jaipur, back in India, and then Bangalore, starting from my professional life. So it is really exciting to be connecting with all of you, with our community. It's like coming back to home. So yes, I think we should just continue this great work in terms of creating communities across. And like Rahul was talking about, knowledge sharing and coming together to collaborate is the key ingredient for all of us to be successful. We at Microsoft, we really look forward to such engagement so that we can learn from all of your experiences, because you are front and center with our customers. So the knowledge and the experience that you all bring to the table, you may not realize it, but that is just invaluable experience that we can learn from all of you. So that is the motivation for us to be part of all our community forums, to work as a team. So I think this is great that what we are doing. So we should just continue to accelerate this more and more. And any help that we can offer from our side, we are always there. So please just let us know. So with that, I think I would like to take this opportunity to focus on what is front and center for us at Microsoft right now, right? And there is three things: finance and operations, Dataverse, Power Platform, right? These are the three focus areas for us right now in various shapes and forms. So we'll quickly go through a few minutes of understanding how these three things are coming together and what these three things can do for us. So some of you may already know this, but it is always good to start with a base so that we can then continue further on advanced topics. So when we look at our ecosystem, right, when we look at starting with Power Platform, the various technologies in Power Platform, namely Power BI, Power Apps, Virtual Agent, Automate, they all come together to solve certain sections of the overall business problem. And together they help to facilitate an end-to-end automated experience as applicable. Now, behind the scene, all these technologies has to work on the business data. And that is why data is in the center of our technology stack. Everything surrounds the data that is generated by the business process, and business process consumes data. And everything that we do is on that data. Now, data can be of two forms, right? I mean, the data can come from two different sources at a very high level. The first source of data is what is not in Power Platform, right? Because the idea is for Power Platform to be available to our customers who are not even on Dataverse, for example, right? I mean, customers have legacy applications, customers have legacy data source, and there is no reason why we should not enable capabilities for data that is siloed in those external data sources to also participate in the rich ecosystem of Power Platform. So external data is one category of data that we should be able to operate on. And then the second category of data obviously is the native data, which is physically there on the Dataverse platform. This will be data like applications from CE, from sales, from marketing, from field services. All the applications that are natively on Dataverse has its data in Dataverse, and hence all the surrounding technologies of Power Platform can obviously operate on this data. But however, if we are able to combine the data from the native applications on Dataverse with the data that is residing externally, then we are truly bringing the business process end to end from a customer perspective where the data, no matter where it is residing, can participate in analytics, it can participate in Power Automate, it can participate in Power Virtual Agents, and other platform technologies that is there in Power Platform. So we talked about external and internal data, right? Why external data? Like we talked about, from a legacy perspective, the data that is sitting in the external applications is equally important as data that is sitting in Dataverse. It takes time for our customers to move to the latest and the greatest technologies, right? So there has to be an appreciation for what our customers goes through. It is not easy for customers to just divest what they have invested in so far in the last 15, 20 years, and then start adopting the latest and the greatest. So there has to be that that view, that empathetic view, and hence we need to do what we can from a technology perspective to still enable our customers to realize the modern benefits of the technologies. And that is why investing in the platform, investing in Dataverse to enable these legacy data to also participate is a #1 focus area for us at Microsoft. Now, how can we enable this at scale, right? Because there will be thousands different combination of data sources that are available out there in across various customer implementations. So it will not be a practical and a scalable model to go and try and solve for each and every specific data source that is out there. So strategically, the approach we are taking at Microsoft is to tap into the rich ecosystem of our connectors that are already there in the Power Automate and Logic App ecosystem. So there are close to 350 or even 400, almost close to 400 connectors that are there from both first party, which is Microsoft, and also third party. So the first step that we are taking right now is to see if we can actually virtualize these connectors in Dataverse platform. Now, what that means is, let's say there is a legacy application that is running on a SQL database. Now we know that there is a SQL connector that is available in Power Automate and Logic App ecosystem. So if we are able to virtualize the SQL connector in Dataverse to the point where just like finance and operation virtual entities are available in Dataverse, the tables from this legacy external SQL database, if we can expose these tables directly in Dataverse as virtual tables, which we used to call as virtual entities, then all of a sudden we make this data, which is in this legacy application, available in the Dataverse ecosystem, which means application developers can write business logic, can write applications on Dataverse, on Power Platform that will not only consume data from the native applications like sales, marketing, finance and operation, etc., but also from this legacy third-party application, which opens up so much of avenues in terms of possibilities from a functional perspective. So that is just one example. Now, if we can have a design that can scale to all these different kinds of connectors, then we can imagine the unlimited possibilities that we can open up for our ISV ecosystem, our partner ecosystem, and also our customer ecosystem, right? Imagine SAP connector that can be virtualized in Dataverse. So all of a sudden from the Dataverse platform itself, there can be business logic that performs operations across SAP and also finance and operation, across SAP and sales application, and so on and so forth. So which is why it is very crucial for all of us to understand the direction and the importance of enabling external applications to also participate in Power Platform. And then I think we all know the benefits of being able to apply these latest technologies on the native data, which is from sales and marketing and field service, etc. So I would not spend too much time here. I think we all understand that is the de facto, and hence we can just move forward. Now, if anybody is new to Dataverse, let's spend a few minutes to understand what is Dataverse. So this is our abstracted view or a definition of what Dataverse is. So I will read this verbatim because it embodies, in essence, what Dataverse truly is. So Dataverse easily structures a variety of data and business logic to support interconnected applications and processes in a secure and compliant manner. Now, the words are very, very thoughtfully chosen here for a reason, because these keywords are embodiment of the technologies behind the scene that together make up the Dataverse platform. So what do we mean by easily structures? Like easily structures a variety of data. So if you kind of open up Dataverse from a technology perspective, you will see that Dataverse has different kinds of storage mechanism built into it. Blob storage, Cosmos DB, SQL DB, data lake, etc., etc. Right now, having support for these different kinds of data storage gives the flexibility for the platform to easily structure a variety of data and then decide which data should be stored in which storage, right? Relational data will go to SQL. Non-relational data can go to Cosmos DB. Any unstructured data can go to blob storage. Any analytics data can go to data lake, right? So the idea is for Dataverse to provide this platform that if a application developer onboards into Dataverse, then from a storage perspective, there are all these capabilities available where Dataverse is smart enough to understand what data needs to be stored where, which not only gives functional relevance, but it also gives the scalability and the performance that is required from that specific data store. So that is about data. Data by itself is of no value. So the platform needs to have capabilities to also allow the developer to write business logic. So that is where the extensibility model in Dataverse comes into play, where developers can write plugins to add on to the existing business logic and extend the platform to suit to their own requirements, their own business scenarios. And hence business logic plus data becomes the basis for Dataverse as a platform. Then we talked about applications and processes that needs to come together. And the word interconnected here actually emphasizes on the previous topics that we discussed, which is interconnecting external and internal applications together. So Dataverse as a platform has technologies, is investing in technologies that allows and that will allow a no-cliff experience from an application developer perspective, where, for example, if you as a developer has started to adopt Dataverse and you want to write business logic that has to span finance and operations, sales, and SAP, for example, you should not be at a cliff and have no way to go forward because there is no way for you to talk to SAP from Dataverse platform. So that is the scenario that we dread all the time, to be very honest, and which is why the emphasis on investing in bringing external data sources into Dataverse is that crucial component, so that developers have no cliff experience and they are able to extend the business logic regardless of what the backend application is. And then last but not the least, security and compliance is another critical de facto for the platform. I mean, once you are on board Dataverse platform, you don't have to worry in terms of GDPR compliance or data residency, requirements. from an authorization perspective, authentication perspective, from an encryption perspective, all that is embodied in the platform itself. So that kind of makes Dataverse as a holistic platform. And that is what we're trying to abstract in this 4-line definition of what Dataverse is for us. Now, if we kind of go into the technology stack from the definition of Dataverse, then what we see is starting from the base of the platform. If you visualize a technology stack starting from bottom to up, that is what we will go through this slide here. So the API forms the foundation, which is nothing but interfaces that allows applications to talk to Dataverse. Applications could be first party, applications could be external third party applications. But the API is the entry point into Dataverse around which all the other applications are kind of built on Dataverse. Then we talk about the security layer around authentication, authorization, or auditing. Dataverse as a platform has role-based security model, and Dataverse as a platform provides rich auditing capabilities. And then in the next slide, we'll talk about, we'll try to kind of map this to what FNO is and how we are bringing FNO together as well. And then we talked about business logic and extending business logic through plugins and other mechanisms built into Dataverse. And then we talked quite a bit about data itself. And then we talked about storage and then integrations, right? So this is a technology view of what we have been discussing in the last 10 minutes or so. And these are the key components that make up Dataverse. Now, what this means for finance and operations. So if I go back to this slide, all the components that are there in Dataverse, finance and operation has something similar to offer from a platform perspective. So which is why we are now in this process to converge so that as engineering, we gain efficiencies. And in the process, we want to make sure that our customers and partners and ISVs also benefit from the unified experience, both from a UI perspective and also from a backend perspective. And that should reflect in a business process that is executing end-to-end that spans multiple applications on the platform. So this technology stacks applies directly as is to finance and operations scenarios as well. And some of you must have seen this slide in other forums where we share and talk about platform convergence. But this is exactly what embodies platform convergence, which is in each of these technology layers, there is opportunity for us to converge. Finance and operation has different kinds of storage. Dataverse has different kind of storage. What is the opportunity for us to converge? Not just from the backend perspective, but also from a front-end experience standpoint, right? So I will not spend too much time talking through this slide again, but the idea is that convergence has to happen in every layer of the technology stack. And convergence is happening based on scenarios, based on opportunities, as we learn from all of you. And that is how we are taking the approach to convergence. So just before we wrap up, a quick 2-minute demo just to showcase what convergence can do for us. And what we will see in this demo is productized capabilities, which is currently in private preview. So this is not a POC. This is not a future visionary demo. This is there in finance and operations today. This is there in Dataverse today. But these are hidden capabilities. It is in private preview, which is why it is not just available by default. But there are ways to get this enabled and try it for yourself. So let's quickly go, and this is like a 2.5-minute demo. So give me the time to start this. And I did share the audio on Teams when I did my screen sharing, but if you don't hear the audio, just let me know. I can pause and try to reshare.
Sure, Sunil. Yeah.
In this platform convergence demo, we'll be using the company of Contoso, who uses customer engagement for their front office, finance and operations for their back office, as well as Power Platform to tie everything together. In this scenario, Contoso is a major manufacturer, and a company, Litware, is coming to their portal site and looking through their products and deciding they would like to onboard as a potential reseller. To do this, they'll fill in some information in this site and submit a request to become a reseller of Contoso's products. Now, the act of submitting this information in the portal site has kicked off some back-end processes that are going to start the process of Contoso taking on Litware as a customer. If I come into the front office, I can see that Litware now exists as a potential account. But there's a lot more information I need to fill in, especially when I get to some back office processes, such as being able to do trade agreements and things like that. To fill in this extra information, we've posted a message to Teams that this customer needs onboarding. So let's click on this link, which will launch a form for us to be able to fill out this extra information. Now, as I mentioned, most likely we'd be doing deeper negotiations like trade agreements, but for now, let's just set a credit limit and hit save. Now I want to create an invoice for this customer. So let's send them an invoice for $100 for services rendered and hit post. Now, the act of posting that invoice is going to trigger all the back-end processes, the financial information that goes with it, and all the reporting. But it's also going to send events back up the chain. So here you can see in Teams, we've posted a notification that this free text invoice has been posted, so then interested parties can be aware. Additionally, if I go back into the front office, we can see Litware had 0 invoices and now has been updated to 1 invoice. So we can also run business logic in the front office software. Thank you.
So that was a quick demonstration of what platform convergence can do going forward. Couple of or few callouts here, right? The scenario was finance and operation based on the backend office around invoicing. However, we did not see any finance and operations UI in this demo, right? The user did not have to go to finance and operations UI to accomplish this task. That does not mean finance and operations UI is going away. That is not the point. The message here is finance and operation is coming closer and closer to Power Platform, to the point where Power Platform should be sufficient to enable a end-to-end scenario for finance and operations as well. So that was the first call out there. The second call out is, in order for this to be even possible, if we take a step back, what we wanted to have to do this is an environment where FNO and Dataverse is connected. FNO and Dataverse is pre-established from a connection perspective. It is ready as one environment so that somebody can go and execute the business process the way that happened in this scenario. So all the work that happened to deploy the environment as a unified environment happened through LCS. So that happened, and then the user went and executed the business process. And as part of execution of the business process, a lot of technologies came into play to make that happen. For example, Power Portals came into play using virtual entities to help the customer put the request to be onboarded as a customer, right? Then dual write came into play where the account that was created in CE was synced to finance and operation as a customer. The new data events, the CUD events in finance and operation kicked in when dual write copied or created the customer record, which triggered the CUD event of customer record created, which then brought Power Automate into play to send a message to the teams. And then Power Apps kicked in where the user clicked the link in the message on Teams to actually start creating invoices, for example. And when the invoice was posted, that triggered business events from finance and operations through Dataverse, which then again invoked Power Automate to send the Teams notification. And the same business event was later used to also execute a plugin, which is business logic on Dataverse side, to update the invoice information on that account in sales application, right? So These are the bits and pieces of the converged technology toolbox, if you will, which we as the forefront of this technology, torchbearers, if you will, we need to understand. And that is the whole point of this collaboration, right? We want to be at a point where we can guide our customers as to when to use dual write, when to use virtual entities, what can business events do, what can CUD events do, when to use CUD event and when to use business event, right? And what what does these individual technologies mean when they come together, right? That is the key message. That is the crux of what we are doing from a collaboration perspective, that we want all of us to understand, and we want all of us to take this forward so that we can position this for the right reasons in the right manner for our customers, ISVs and partners together, right? So last but not the least, call to action. I think Rahul kind of covered this also initially. Collaboration, it is never enough, right? I mean, we have to collaborate over and over again. Every day we need to collaborate because so much is happening, and information dissemination should not be a challenge. I mean, which is why we are creating all these forums that we are part of. And then we need to take the responsibility to actually take the information, understand, and then share it with our customers. And that is the only way we can scale out. So collaboration is never enough. Adoption. Once we collaborate and once we learn, what do we do with that knowledge? Well, we need to help customers adopt to the latest and the greatest, technologies for the right reasons, with an empathetic view that customers will take time to adopt, right? Customers cannot leave what they have just because we have latest and the greatest technologies, but we need to show the value. We need to keep on showing the value. We need to keep on talking about it, and then things will start happening. And last but not the least, there are various forums, various channels that are out there for us to continue the learning. Our UG forums that we are today part of is one forum. There is a Yammer group dedicated for platform convergence. Please join that if you are not part of that. And then, of course, the official Microsoft documentation, which is how I blog post. I don't have my separate blog post, but that is my way of sharing all the knowledge, and my team's way of sharing all the knowledge. So please, start looking into that, and give us feedback and whatnot. Always ready to collaborate. But these are some of the avenues for us to take the baton and go forward. So thank you, and Rachit, back to you. I think I took a little bit more time than you allocated to me. Apologies, but back to you.
No problem, Sunil. That was a very interesting session. Like what you have shared is really invaluable at this stage, especially the definition of Dataverse. It was crisp, but it was too meaningful. Like every word had a lot of meaning with it. And as you mentioned about unification, we can actually see it as consultants. When dual write was initially released, we had to install multiple solutions in our CE and the Power Platform Admin Center. But now we can do all those things through LCS via Power Platform Admin Center capabilities. So we can see that the platforms are converging. So really, thanks for that. I think what you have shared has a very long way to go with the community, and with these type of insights, I think, yeah, it will really help everyone to understand where the technology is going and how customers can leverage it. And I feel it is, if the companies who are using these type of platforms, they will also benefit for their customers and their vendors who are working with them, because everyone gets real-time visibility to the data, which is really nice. So thanks for that, Sunil. Really appreciate it. I'll share my screen and we move on then from here. All right, guys. So that was Sunil joining us from US, and it's very early morning. So thanks a lot, Sunil, for that. Now we have another very good friend of mine, Faisal Farid, joining us from Australia. And it is late night in Australia. It's almost 11:15 p.m. So really appreciate Faisal as well joining us at this time. Just a quick introduction to Faisal. Like he is a founder and volunteer in various user groups for Dynamics, which are also focused to bring Dynamics 365 people together. And I would now hand it over to Faisal so that he can talk about his experience, encourage us, and share his thoughts around it. Over to you, Faisal.
Yep, sure. Yeah, thank you so much, Rachit, for the nice introduction about myself. So I'll quickly share my screen here. All right, guys. So my name is. Sorry, I'm just not a little bit cold here. All right. So
We lost your screen. No, we lost your screen, Faisal. Yeah, now we can see.
good. So my name is Faisal Farid, and I'm working as a senior technical solution architect at Barhead nowadays. So recently joined Barhead, and I have been working in financial operations industry for last around 14, 15 years. So I and Rachit have solved so many complex issues in starting with our AX world. So we have set together, resolved so many issues together around since last 5 or 6 years now. So I remember when I first time when I reached to Melbourne. So Rachid was my first friend who actually guided me of where to go and which tram you have to take, and especially like I was looking for my mosque here, and Rachid guided me where to go and find the mosque here in Melbourne. So has been a great journey as of now, and that's what I would say. We will remain as it is, as we are right now. So helping so many communities. We both together here in Australia, in New Zealand, in Pakistan, and in India. So as you can see, like I'm the founder and the leader of Pakistan User Group, and I'm also leading ANZ Dynamics 365 FinOps Teams Group. So these are the two different type of group covering the two different regions of the world. Like in Pakistan User Group, it's not only for Pakistan User Group. We are getting people like from across the globe. So I'll just show you at the end of the presentation. I don't want to advertise or market my user group here. So this is ANZ user group, ANZ Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations Teams user group. Like I and Rachit, we came up with a plan and we decided, okay, let's do something for our finance and operations team, because Microsoft is mostly talking about Power Platform. So we are sitting alone here with finance and operations. Microsoft is taking everything away from finance and operations and taking into Power Platform, which is really good. But we also have to live within finance and operations. So let's start exploring more about finance and operations. So we got a good exposure there. Recently being awarded as Microsoft Valuable Professional MVP, and I'm also an MCT. So this is all about my journey. So today, this is the first time I'm going to talk about not the technical topic, not the functional topic. I will keep it very small, very to the point here. So that's always what I always suggest people: always play your A game. So if you want to achieve anything into your life, just do it and just get into those things. Whatever you do, love your job. The first point I want to hear as a community, how we can grow up as a community. So the biggest and the platform which Microsoft has provided us as the Microsoft Dynamic community. So this is the first ever, like this is the biggest point. I'll show you how the Microsoft Dynamics community looks like, where you can go and you can get all your information there. And the best point of Microsoft Dynamics community is they encourage you. You will find all your question answered within minutes, within hours. And if you are like, the beauty of this virtual world now is, you before go to bed, you just post your question, and overnight you will get your answer. When you wake up next morning, you will get your answer. So it's really growing very fast, and we do have so many talented and experienced people across the world. So they must have done the similar things which you are going to do or you are going to deliver. So think in that way. Don't try to push everything on yourself, and you utilize these communities, these forums, and this will not give only you answer. This will only give you rewards and awards also. So, like I remember in January early this year, so I was nominated as the community spotlight because uh, I have been involving or doing community work for last around 10 to 12 years. So I started my blog around 10 years ago. So do join Microsoft Dynamics communities. This is the best platform, and you can interact. You can join so many professionals and experienced people there. And the second point, which Sunil touched base about this Microsoft certifications and Microsoft Learn, this is the best thing you can learn most of the things out of Microsoft certification. What we have experienced now, like 2 or 3 years ago, I only knew about finance and operations or Dynamics CX. Now, since last 2 or 3 years, when I started working into the dual right, so and then where I got connected with Sunil Garg there about because the dual right got me connected with so many people in Microsoft product team. So I actually dig into that dual right stuff, and the point which I'm trying to make is this is where I just go out of my comfort when I went out of my comfort zone and I started learning customer engagement, Power Platform, how these things, other applications of Microsoft ecosystem work. So if you are just working into finance and operations since last 10 or 12 years, so this is the right time to hop into this bus before this bus leaves you. And because the way Microsoft is evolving the technologies, I would say in minutes now, not overnights. In next minute, Microsoft is just coming back with so many powerful features, so many new technologies. So it's the right time for all of us, including myself, like get into those things straight away. And the best option would be is your Microsoft certifications, Microsoft Learn. So you will get it's a one-stop shop. You can get everything there. Once you get to that stage, Microsoft certifications, like the stage where we all right now are, we start helping each other. Uh, Regardless wherever you are sitting, whatever is your skill set, if someone asks you any help, like start mentoring about that one. Mentoring is not only giving, you are supporting someone, you are also getting a lot of help. It's a similar concept like when we used to learn from our teachers, so many teachers used to also learn from their students. So you may end up of contacting someone uh, where you can just get you learn so many things from others. So this is where like I always try to say, play your A game here and then get into the mentoring. Uh, Support is this is my last point here. Support. Uh, the in last 2 years, the world has changed drastically, like due to the pandemic situations or due to the virtual worlds. I noticed like we are now very closer to each other. Uh, we never got into these type of user groups or virtual calls when we used to go to an in-person meetings. It was difficult for everyone, like for me it would be difficult to fly over to India or Dubai or Pakistan from Australia just for one event. But now it's very easy here, and the best tool you can use it here, LinkedIn. So go update your profile, share whatever you are doing there, support different communities. Uh, Even though you don't know anyone in that community, just go and introduce yourself. You will get to know very quickly. There are so many communities starting across the world where you can go, you can support them, start sharing and start talking here. With this one, I'll just provide a brief introduction about what's happening into our next event at Pakistan User Group. So the reason I'm sharing into this platform here just because of the name of the event, because I named it as Urdu Hindi Bootcamp 2021. So like I came up with an idea last year, 2020. Let's start talking about all the products. Sunil was one of the featured speaker into that one, and that was the first time I think so Sunil talked about in Hindi, and it was a fun. Rachit joined me there. Rachit gave a session in Hindi, so it was a bit difficult for everyone to speak into their own native languages because we are not used of talking in such big events in their native languages. But it was fun at the same time, and it was a blast. So now this time, like I reached out to Muhammad Alam, and who doesn't know Muhammad Alam? Like he's a big name in Microsoft. So many people got connected, and now we have around 65 speakers. So that's going to be an amazing event, and you will find Rachit will also be there. He will always remain there in all our events. So that's a sort of community we have built as a name Pakistan User Group, but definitely we are here to support all communities here. So in my opinion, there is no name for a community. It's a one community under the hood of Microsoft, and I want to see India User Group much bigger or so many speakers than what we have here. So this is where like we want to collaborate, and I'm also hoping to have a next big event all together with so many speakers, so that we are not getting the top speakers. We also need to get the speakers from our own countries. So this is where we are happy to collaborate and working together, and then giving back to the communities. So that was a little bit introduction about myself, and that's all from my side. I kept it very small to the point. So if anyone has any questions, anything they want to learn, they want to ask, please feel free to ask. The other thing which I just wanted to quickly share here is how you can start with your dynamic communities. So it's a very simple, go to the community.dynamics.com. Onto the right-hand side, you can see a community spotlight. This could be you at any time. This could be you. And this gives you a lot of confidence and happiness also, like your name or picture is shown onto the Microsoft Dynamics community, because Microsoft Dynamics community is the biggest community in the world from the Microsoft side. And you will find so many community staff and experienced people who are helping you all the forums and all the questions. It's not only this, you can find all the fast track, Microsoft fast track articles, Microsoft fast track tech talks, everything is over here. Next is your Microsoft Docs Learn. So you can learn so many badges over here. You can complete all your certifications yourself. You can create your own plan. As I started learning about the Power Apps, Canvas apps, you can see my progress here. So I'm just 61% as of now with the Canvas app, but I'll be there at some day. So that's the idea about how Microsoft is providing you all the platforms. If you have any type of questions, any comments, please feel free to ask now.
I don't see any questions. Anyone has any question for Faisal?
Excellent.
Okay. No questions, Faisal, but thanks for sharing those insights, experience, and the platforms which already exist, which people can use to collaborate with the community without even need of a user group. But and the way we can design our own learning program by using Microsoft Learn. I think as I also want to touch base with what Sunil mentioned, like his blog is Microsoft Docs, but once Docs is published, I think people have stopped writing blogs because you can find everything there. So it's actually really interesting to see how these open source platforms have evolved. Like Microsoft Docs, you can also contribute to it if you have something to add to it. And that is one good thing how Microsoft is connecting with the whole community, and that's why these communities can make an impact in your career. So thanks a lot, Faisal, for sharing that experience. And also we are excited about the Hindi Urdu event which is happening in Pakistan user group on 31st of July and 1st of August. So yeah, we
So
see
it's a 3 days now. So we got
3 days.
so many speakers,
Oh,
and we couldn't decline anyone's request because we
yeah.
want everyone to come join us. So
Wow.
now it's a 3 days event. So like still working onto the schedule. So it's starting on Friday 30th of July and
Yeah.
closing on Sunday 1st of August.
Perfect. So I encourage everyone in this group to check out the Pakistan user group website, register for the event, participate in it. If you have missed submitting your nomination, do attend the sessions. There will be a lot of learning during those 3 days. It's like a Dynamics festival. So yes, do attend that session, everyone. So with that, we'll continue. Thanks a lot, Faisal and Sunil. Now I will pass it on to Paresh to take us through the upcoming things in our group. Over to you, Paresh.
If we can go to the next slide. Thank you, Rachit. And before I move forward, let me just say what an amazing start. Thank you very much, Sunil. I could absolutely relate to what you were saying. And I would actually reiterate the same thing that you said, that customer is not going to come to you because you are the latest or greatest, but you have to keep showing the value that you bring with your product. And I think the way we are interacting in this community and share the good word, we can attract the customer and show them, the importance of the Dataverse and the new things that are coming up. And let me tell you this, in some of the projects that I've been working on, due to this COVID situation, it has been a big wake-up call to the legacy systems as well, because now you know that the cloud works as well. And also for Faisal, like what a great inspiration you are, because I have been following you in various communities and you have been so active. And just a fun fact, I met Faisal for the very first time. Rachit introduced me in Melbourne when I just came to Australia, in front of a post office. And it was just a casual hi, hello. And I met him after 4 years. And it was amazing to see that he recognized me and he told me where exactly I met. So he has a really sharp memory. So thank you, Sunil, and thank you, Faisal, for an amazing start. And Sunil, that you woke up 5 a.m. in the morning and then came up for this, and also Faisal for late night. So what is next? Again, as Faisal said, that there is a Hindi Urdu boot camp starting from 31st July to 1st of August. We will be sharing the link. And if you want to get in touch with Faisal, we will also share the LinkedIn where you can ask questions about this boot camp and know much more details. There are upcoming sessions in this 365 UG India, and where Ashish Srivastav on 8th of August will be taking you through integration patterns and real life case studies. And also on 29th August 2021, Umesh Pandit will be sharing Azure Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations about various topics. He will be touching on that. So keep in touch, and we'll be sharing all these details in the user group, and you'll find the details as we go along. If you can go to the next slide, Rachit. Now, you can obviously scan these QR codes and also, get connected with us. So call for speakers is open. This community is all about communication. So please feel free to submit your session, and we will definitely schedule it, and we can connect and have some sessions just like this. You can also submit your ideas if you want somebody else to speak about some topic. Now, by the way, we are a Dynamics community, and behind these things, we are also using Power Automate to have automated communication. So we are also following and practicing the same things. Rachit, I think you have already shared the link behind this QR as well in this chat. We'll be sharing that in the user group as well. Having said that, I will just pass it on back to Rachit, and you can take it forward.
Thank you, Paresh. Yep, I think it has been really exciting last 1 hour. And now we have an open floor where we encourage our participants to open up their mic, cameras, if they wish to give us some feedback and share their ideas on if they want to share something on how we should collaborate, what do they think about this user group and the direction we are taking. Sorry. Yeah. All right. I think I don't see any comments or people opening up, but thanks a lot, everyone, for joining today with us on this launch event. And I wish everyone a great weekend ahead. And I'm really looking forward to collaborate with the group and increase the participation from the Dynamics 365 community, not only in India, but also across the globe. People from Pakistan, Australia, United States, Europe. Time will tell where we go, but yeah, we are really excited and we need your support. So do join us, do share your feedback, do scan those QR codes, join us on LinkedIn, and we will keep you posted.
And just before we go, just a short thing that we wanted to mention, that if you're submitting your idea and if you want to come up with your session, please make sure that you do not share any crucial data of your projects or anything that you might be working on, because you might have your disclosure agreements as well. So, but please feel free to submit your ideas, sessions, and we will get connected with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you, guys. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks all. Bye.